Okay, so hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today we are going to do a presentation on ways university student can avoid foodborne illness. Here are my group mates. Divashni Kanan 200743, Shashini Nair, R. Kumar 200334, and me myself, Nur Alni Akila binti Huma Asri 2001077. So what do you guys think when you hear about foodborne illness? So, foodborne illness is a health condition due to consuming contaminated food item. So, why it is very important in a student? Because it can affect student student quality in studies and their lifestyle. So, avoid foodborne illness to get a better life. So what is the ways that we can do in order to avoid foodborne illness as a student? So firstly, we can prevent ourselves by buying college food. Why I said so? Because most of the time, college food is not really sanitized, is not really properly made in like a clean way. So by preventing ourselves buying food, we can really avoid foodborne illness because everything is being prepared by ourselves. We know to control the hygiene, we know to control the item that we put in our food. Okay, and secondly, most of the time, college food is openly displayed, and most of the time it's surrounded by flies because of the dustbin that we put nearer to the food. So that's why I said preventing our staff from buying college food is a good way to avoid foodborne illness in a university student. So I pass to Shashini Nair.
Okay, so I'll present the second point, which is personal good hygiene. So this personal good hygiene is divided into two. One, individually, and secondly is the surrounding. So individually, you have to make sure that your hygiene is in a good condition because this can ensure to avoid any kind of contamination from happening towards your food. Washing hand is really important in order to make sure this kind of contamination can be avoided. Secondly is keeping the surrounding clean, especially the place that you're going to use for your food preparation. You have to make sure that the surfaces are well cleaned in a proper way to make sure that any kind of cross contamination can be avoided because this will really affect the probability of getting a very terrible contamination that will lead to foodborne illness. So that's all for me.
So I'll be talking about the third and fourth point. My third point is that proper holding of food items. Okay, so earlier we suggested students to cook themselves and reduce eating in cafes. So in that case, students need to make sure that they actually have a refrigerator. I know it's a little problem for those who stay in hostel, but for those who actually rent a room outside, it'll be a better way because they need to have a refrigerator when they decide to cook themselves. Okay, do you know what is actually danger zone? Danger zone is the temperature of 40 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius, where the growth of pathogens are actually at maximum. So in that case, we have to store food, no matter if it's leftovers, raw material, or pre-cooked or anything, we have to store them in the refrigerator so it is below the temperature of danger zone. In this case, we can reduce the growth of pathogens. That's why we need a refrigerator. So the first point is that store food in refrigerator. Second way of proper holding of food items will be separate raw and cooked items. Okay, usually cooked items, they have more bacteria like salmonella. In that case, if you put cooked and also raw materials together in the refrigerator, the transmission of pathogens from raw materials to the cooked items can occur, and this can cause problems to those who actually consume the cooked food thinking that it is healthy, but actually there's a cross contamination that happened. So they need to actually be organized to separate the raw materials and cooked food properly in the refrigerator to reduce the contamination from happening. My fourth point is correct way of cooking. So students usually they don't the number of them making curry is actually very less. They prefer making sauce or stews. In that case, they don't actually boil the food. So they have to make sure that the food they cook reaches at least up to 75 degrees Celsius. Okay, now studies they show actually those who actually use a thermometer to check on the temperature of the food they cook reduce so much of health complications. So we suggest students to actually use a thermometer and check on the stews or any sauces they're making that it reaches at least 75 degrees Celsius so it is safe to be consumed. Second way is microwaves. Okay, microwaves are actually very convenient because it's very easy to use and it cooks in a very fast time. So students, they are very busy, they have a very busy schedule. So in that case, they always use microwaves, but they have to know the correct way of cooking so it's actually become a healthy food to consume. For example, you have to make sure you put the thick food at the edge of the plate and the thin ones in the middle. So you can ensure that it cooks evenly, and when you eat, they don't have any not don't have reduced number of pathogens or contamination, so it will be healthy to be consumed. So yeah, correct way of cooking, students have to make sure that.
So before ending this presentation, is there anything that any of you would like to add?
Yeah, I want to add some. Okay, after listening to all the points, I think that's very important for us to um taking care of these things because we don't want to disturb our time in studies and we don't want to interrupt our lifestyle. So like I said, so avoid Okay, so I want to add some point. So after listening to all of the points, I think that is very crucial for us to, as a student especially, to avoid workaholics because we don't want to affect our quality in studies and also our lifestyle. So like I said before this, avoid foodborne illness to get better life. Okay.
I have something to add on to. Okay, I think teenagers, university students are mostly teenagers, so it's actually a beginning stage of adulthood. They probably have been living with parents all this while, or maybe even if they're from boarding school, they have experience on being independent but not experience on cooking their own food because they do not allow school students to cook food in the hostel, right? So they really have to be very disciplined and organized to ensure they can cook and prepare their own food items because they have least experience on managing food items at home because parents will be doing it all the time. So need to put a lot of effort on learning on the proper ways to actually purchase them, to handle, to store, and to cook on proper ways, and also how to handle the leftovers to minimize the wastage. Students have to be really organized and disciplined and have to be really open-minded to learn all these new things and practice good habits that we actually learn in school, universities, and also from social medias. They need to be really, yeah, they have to be really organized to actually imply all these in their daily life so that we can reduce the contamination and foodborne illness, especially on students. As Auni said, we don't want to we don't want to be really sick and actually ruin all our study schedule and everything. So they have to be very disciplined. That's my opinion.
Yes, I completely agree with both of your opinions. To me, where there's a will, there's always a way. So if these university students especially, they have this will in trying to make changes for a better healthy lifestyle, they have the possibility of achieving it by working hard, even though it's slowly, but it will surely reach to a point where their lifestyle is healthy. So I think I can wrap up this presentation by summarizing. Okay, so in conclusion, there are 4 ways that university students can apply in their life in order to avoid foodborne illness. Firstly, is by preventing from buying college foods. Secondly, is by practicing good hygiene. Thirdly, is by knowing the proper holding of food items. And lastly, is by learning the correct way of cooking. And by knowing and applying these 4 ways, I believe that university students can make a good changes uh, in order to avoid foodborne illness from happening to them. That will actually give lots of bad consequences in their life. That's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you.